Revenge is a dish best served cold, they say, but psychology reveals something darker. Most people get revenge completely wrong. They act too fast, reveal too much, and ultimately destroy themselves in the process. The people who succeed at revenge understand timing, psychology, and the art of invisible consequences. Here's when revenge is justified and how to execute it without getting caught. Welcome back to Forbidden Wisdom. Today we're exploring one of humanity's most primal drives, the desire for revenge. Let's be clear, you are not going to become a villain. It's about understanding the psychology behind revenge so you can either execute it strategically when justified or recognize when someone is planning it against you, because revenge done poorly destroys you. Revenge done right, nobody even knows you were involved. Most people don't understand that acting on emotion guarantees failure. The person who strikes back immediately might feel satisfied for a moment, but they've just painted a target on themselves. The more obvious your revenge, the less effective it becomes. You get caught, you look petty, and you give your enemy ammunition to play victim. Psychology teaches us that successful revenge requires three things: emotional distance, acting from calculation, not rage; strategic timing, waiting for the perfect moment of vulnerability; invisible execution, making consequences look natural, not personal. Let's break down when revenge is actually justified and how to execute it without destroying yourself in the process. First, let's address when revenge actually makes sense. Not every slight deserves retaliation. Most things should be ignored or handled through direct communication. Revenge is justified when 1. Betrayal that caused real damage. Not hurt feelings, but actual consequences. Someone stole from you, destroyed your reputation with lies, sabotaged your career, or violated deep trust in ways that materially harmed your life. Example: a business partner who embezzled money and blamed you, a friend who slept with your spouse, a colleague who stole your work and got promoted with it. 2. Repeated deliberate harm. One mistake is forgivable. A pattern of calculated attacks is war. When someone continuously targets you despite warnings, revenge becomes self-defense. Example: the coworker who consistently undermines you in meetings, spreads rumors, and tries to get you fired. At some point, defense requires offense. 3. When justice is impossible through normal means. Sometimes the system fails. HR protects the bully. Courts side with the liar. The person who wronged you faces no consequences. In these cases, strategic revenge becomes the only form of justice available. The key question to ask yourself: am I seeking revenge because I'm hurt, or because real injustice occurred that requires correction? Hurt feelings fade. Real damage deserves response. When revenge is not justified, someone rejected you romantically. Someone was more successful than you. Someone criticized you fairly. You're jealous or envious. Your ego was bruised, but nothing real was lost. Most wrongs don't deserve revenge. Save it for actual injustice. Part 2. The psychology of effective revenge. Now, if you've determined revenge is justified, here's how psychology says to execute it without destroying yourself. Principle number 1. Time creates distance. Never ever act immediately. The person who seeks revenge in hot anger always fails. They're sloppy, emotional, and obvious. The waiting strategy: let weeks or months pass. During this time, your enemy relaxes, thinking they got away with it. You gain emotional clarity and strategic perspective. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The connection between their action and your response becomes invisible. Real example: a CEO was betrayed by his CFO, who tried to steal clients. Instead of firing him immediately, the CEO waited 8 months, documenting everything while building relationships with those clients. When he finally fired the CFO, he had legal proof of misconduct, had secured the clients, and the CFO couldn't claim retaliation. Principle number 2. Make consequences look natural. The best revenge doesn't look like revenge at all. It looks like karma, bad luck, or their own mistakes catching up with them. How this works: don't attack them directly. Create situations where they destroy themselves. Use their own weaknesses against them. Let others discover their wrongdoing naturally. Position yourself as a neutral or even sympathetic party. Example: someone spreads lies about you at work. Instead of confronting them or spreading counter-rumors, you document everything, wait for them to make an error, then present evidence to HR as a concern about their behavior affecting team morale. They get fired for the lies, not because of you, but because HR independently discovered the problem. Principle number 3: success is the best revenge when applied strategically. There's truth to living well is the best revenge, but only if done correctly. The strategic approach: achieve visible success in the area they tried to sabotage you. Make sure they see what they lost by wronging you. Build alliances with people they value or need. Become indispensable in spaces they occupy. Watching someone they wronged succeed, despite their sabotage, is psychologically torturous. They're forced to witness their failure to destroy you while you thrive. Part 3: execution strategies. Here are specific psychological tactics for executing revenge that won't backfire. Strategy number 1: the information release. If someone wronged you through deception, gather evidence of their true nature and release it strategically, never trace back to you. Let their victims discover information naturally. Anonymous tips, concerned party reports, leaked documents that expose their pattern of behavior. Example: a manager was sexually harassing multiple employees, but HR protected him. One victim quietly collected testimony from 5 others, then had a lawyer send everything to the board of directors. The manager was fired within a week. The victim never revealed herself as the organizer. Strategy number 2: the alliance method. Turn their allies into your allies by exposing them to the same treatment you received. Position yourself strategically in their social or professional circle. Let them reveal their true nature to others. Don't badmouth them. Let their behavior speak for itself while you become the reasonable alternative. People who wronged you often have a pattern. By staying close enough to observe, you'll watch them betray others. Those victims become your natural allies. Strategy number 3: the opportunity denial. The most elegant revenge is preventing them from getting what they want without them knowing you're the obstacle. If they need references, clients, promotions, or opportunities, position yourself to quietly block these without direct confrontation. A word to the right person, a concern shared confidentially, doubt planted strategically. Example: a former business partner who stole your idea tries to get funding. You happen to know investors in that space. A casual mention of your experience with this person's ethics tanks their funding round. They never know why deals keep falling through. Strategy number 4: the redirect. Let their own negative energy destroy them. Don't add fuel, just redirect the fire. If they're impulsive, create situations where that impulsivity causes problems. If they're arrogant, let that arrogance lead to visible failures. Your role is simply positioning. They do the actual damage to themselves. Research shows that people who get revenge often feel worse afterward, not better. The anticipation and planning provides more satisfaction than the actual execution. If you pursue revenge, do it for strategic reasons, removing a threat, correcting injustice, not for emotional satisfaction. The feeling you're chasing rarely comes. The person who obsesses over revenge risks becoming as bad as the person who wronged them. Maintain your moral center. Know your limits. Often the best revenge is strategic disengagement, cutting toxic people out completely and building a life so good that whether they succeed or fail becomes irrelevant to you. Revenge is a psychological weapon that requires precision, patience, and emotional control. Done poorly, it destroys you. Done correctly, it delivers justice while keeping your hands clean. The key principles are: only seek revenge for real injustice, not hurt feelings. Wait until emotion fades and strategy emerges. Make consequences look natural, never personal. Understand that anticipation provides more satisfaction than execution. Remember, the goal isn't to become vengeful by nature, it's to understand these principles so you can either execute them when truly necessary or recognize when someone is executing them against you.